We'll move on to maybe one of the more shock results from the weekend. Fulham drawing at Arsenal. Um, Arsenal haven't started the season well off at all. Obviously, they won their opening two games, not comfortably, against Crystal
Mm.
Palace and Nottingham Forest, who we just spoke about. But they weren't comfortable in any region. And they've been trying like a few experiments, playing Party at right back. That's
Mm.
not been working. Um,
Yeah.
and it just they look really disjointed. They look really
Mm.
disjointed as a team. Um, Obviously that Bukayo Saka mistake that led to the first goal, within the first minute.
And
Um,
Ramsdale, I'd put him just as not much. I think he was responsible there as well. I don't know
but
what
the
he's
thing,
doing.
I think him being that high at the pitch is sort of the way that Arsenal are trying to play out from the back,
Mm.
playing that high
Yeah.
line. The Saka mistake, obviously, then Ramsdale's backtracking, and
Yeah, that's true. I suppose
Herrera
when you
was
put it like
clever
that,
to
yeah, he's
to
not
to wrong
expecting
foot
it.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, they just look really this because Fulham haven't started the season well out off at all. Obviously, I saw Mitrovic brought in Raul
It's been a bit of a
Jimenez.
mess there with Mitrovic
Yeah,
leaving.
and
It's been a bit,
yeah,
yeah.
and obviously for them they'll be buzzing. Obviously they were down to
Mm.
10 men before they scored their second as well. Calvin Bassey got sent off.
Yeah.
Um, and you look at Arsenal, you expect them to put three or four
Yeah,
past
they're the
Fulham, especially.
games. If you want to win the titles, they're the games. Especially home games, you got to win them. Doesn't matter how you win them. Like Man U, you just win them. I think for them, they've been very unlucky with some
Hmm.
injuries. Obviously, Jesus is back. I'm not. I don't know. Did he play?
He was on the bench. I can't remember if he
Yeah,
came on
I
or
can't
not.
remember. I'm not
I
sure
know
if he
he's
came
named on
on,
the
but
bench.
he was back a bit quicker than everyone planned. But defensively, they lost Timber, who looked really good in pre-season, and for the opening, half an hour before he did his ACL, I think, or ligament, whatever it was. So he'll be a big miss. Um, I also think, isn't it Zinchenko's currently out injured as well?
Oh, he was named on the bench as well, I believe.
Oh, is he? Was he back as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah.
So I think they're coming back. So maybe that's why Party's been forced out there to sort of
But even
cover. Because
then, I
I don't know
think
what's happening with Gabriel. I'm not sure what's going on with
that
him.
he
He's
needs
not.
to be put back in as well.
Everyone's been a
The
bit
thing is
confused about
that
that.
that Arsenal backline wasn't. I mean, it was only because Saliba was injured for that back end of the season,
Yeah.
but it was really good. Yeah, when Saliba
Mm,
was in there, it was a very strong, capable defense, and they need to go back to that. They need to um rejuvenate that form that they had last season. What I don't, I'm still baffled to what Kai Havertz offers yet. I really thought Mikel Arteta would see something in him and get that out of him.
no.
We're yet to
Yeah.
see that. If anything, he's been even worse here than he was at
I think a
Chelsea.
lot of the fans have turned on him very quickly already. Apparently, yeah, he had a bit of a stinker the other day, which
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. I think he has talent. I'm not surprised.
but
I
it's
think he
also the
needed to
fact that
get away from the
he
Prem.
was awful at Chelsea as well. So
Mm,
they're not basing his sort of playing style from his days at Bayer Leverkusen. They're basing it off
yeah,
on
exactly.
Chelsea. So
He needed
um,
time away before coming back. I think that's what he should have
yeah,
done.
so he's
And I think,
gone
yeah,
straight out of the frying pan into the fire
yeah,
with going from Chelsea to Arsenal.
exactly. He's taken a step up where maybe he needed a step back to then go forward again.
Yeah,
Because it is a step up from Chelsea to Arsenal currently.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
and to
we're not
be
too sure about that. Obviously, with Chelsea winning 3-0.
Yeah, but with
But
more pressure on
yeah,
them, I think it was a big risk for him. And at the moment, it doesn't look like it's paying off. But again, we're only 3 games into the season. There's a
and
long way to
Arsenal are
go.
still unbeaten, so there is still that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. So for them, as I said, I think up until the first international break, just about getting the results and trying to get some sort of performances together and see if there's like a base to build on.
But
But this will be
I
a
think
very
they
busy
still need
week.
to they you know don't try fix what isn't broken in terms of
Oh
Arsenal's
yeah, for
defense.
sure.
I feel like the experimentations that they're trying to do or implementing or whatever they're trying to do, changing
Mm,
the playing style
yeah,
needs to stop. And I think Mikel Arteta needs to take a bit of accountability for it as well. As much as
yeah.
maybe the players aren't performing, I think whatever he's trying to implement right now isn't. And
Mm,
I feel like he's maybe his sort of inexperience is kind of showing at the minute in terms of sort of being in a situation where he hasn't been before. He's come off a very, very strong season at Arsenal. Coulda, shoulda, woulda won the title. Um,
yeah.
and he's going in now. Oh, how do I win it? How do I beat City? I feel like he's
Mm,
panicking, and throwing the towel at it, thinking what can I
Yeah,
change? What can I change in? It's trying different playing styles that just aren't working.
yeah.
It needs to go back to what did work and what did pick them up so many points and make them a very, very beautiful team to watch last season.
No, I agree. I think it's almost like he's used all his cards already last season. He's trying to find other sort of tricks to play and find other things. So it might be going back into the transfer market. Who knows? So there's a week left, or give or take a week. So I think this will be a busy week for a lot of teams holding players, trying to get a couple in just before the international break. So I still think Arsenal will be up there. Obviously, I don't think this is not all complete doom and gloom, but there's a few little signs. I think a few little bit like a few insecurities and a few little troubles that I think better teams than Fulham, who have more better like finishers and attackers, could potentially win like the games at Arsenal. There's definitely frailties there that teams will expose. Better teams, like even teams like Villa and that, could get results against them. Everton and not Everton, Newcastle, who could score more goals maybe than a team like Fulham. So they've just got to be careful that maybe they don't become too like almost cocky in a way. Maybe is the way sometimes, but because I think they should just go back to how they had it last season, as you say, three-man midfield, like almost just. I know they bought Havertz, but
But he's
just bench him.
playing. I don't know what his
Yeah,
position is. I really
put
don't.
Partey back in the middle with Rice, get Odegaard in front of him, Martinelli, Saka in behind Nketiah or Jesus, and then back to what you're at last season. People like Tommy Asu can do a job at right back. Ben White, I'm pretty sure he's fit still. Throw Gabriel back in and just go back to, as you said, back to what you know, and then you'll get the results. Whether or not you
Yeah.
change the keeper, Rye's a good keeper, so you might want to give him a go.
But I
Other
don't
than
think that
that,
change that change will matter too much in terms of goal.
yeah,
I think
exactly. I don't
Ryo
think
as well
it'll.
is very, very good with his feet. So
Yeah, exactly. But they're the only thing they should really be experimenting in is with the keeper, in my opinion. That they shouldn't be trying too much else. They have a solid platform there that they've built on. Yes, they've had to adjust a few little bits with injuries, but now that players are starting to come back, they should just go back to what they know and get going again how they were. So
yeah,
again,
they've had a massive upgrade in midfield, from Xhaka to
yeah,
Rice as well. So it's not like
mm,
um they're any worse than they're worse
yeah,
than last season. It's in terms of making those players work. I think Kai Havertz again. Everyone knew it was an interesting signing. I was a big
mm,
believer that Mikel Arteta would get the best out of him, but
yeah,
it's yet to come and it's yet to see
yeah,
where he actually performs best. We're still yet to see.
yeah. I'm not
Because
surprised.
he's
Yeah,
been,
I'm not
obviously
surprised.
played as a sort of a false nine striker, centre forward at Chelsea, come to
Mm,
Arsenal, and he's playing sort of the number 8 role, and it
yeah,
just doesn't seem to be working. There's no middle ground
yeah.
where he plays best. So
He's
yeah,
trying to do what Eddie Howe did to Joe Linton. That's what he's trying to do, but
yes,
it's not.
it's
It's
clearly
not
not
working.
working. Clearly not
No.
working. But yeah, other news from the weekend: Norwich won again. Jonathan Rowe 5 in a row. Um,
Oh,
I'm having a great time watching Norwich City play a beautiful game.
oh. You'll have Norwich up in the Prem next season.
Yeah,
Everton down in
fingers
the
crossed.
Championship.
And then we'll go straight back down again, as usual. But yeah, I think we've covered all the topics that we want to talk about in this podcast. So yeah, no, Adam, any last messages?
Other than like Darwin is the greatest striker of all time and miles clear of Haaland. And yeah, that's enough said, really.
Well, Ashley Barnes will have a few things to say about that. But yes, guys, if you're listening on Spotify, thank you very much for listening. Also, if you want to go watch the clips of our podcast, head over to our YouTube channel, go subscribe there, click that notification bell so you don't miss any Row Z content. Next week,
Special week.
special week. I'm happy to announce that the Row Z podcast will be filmed in person in a very professional podcast studio.
Lads on tour.
Will be announced more will be announced very, very soon. We have a very special guest coming on, which you'll all see in the following podcast.